It's Sheena with GRS Community Impact, and I'm here with my co-host, Jamie Miller with Veritex Bank. And today on our nonprofit segment, we are here with the Garland Police Never Walk Alone Foundation with Tony Blassingame and Josh Wren. So we're going to learn a little bit about, how the foundation started, how it's grown, several community events, and the huge impact they're making. So welcome, guys.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. So we've said it in some of the podcasts before, but since this is a new one, you want us to kind of tell how we got started?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back 22, we had one of our officers that got ill with cancer. He's not the first officer that got sick with cancer. He's just the one that started us up. So he was our lieutenant. He got ill with cancer, diagnosed with cancer, and we came together as a unit, a traffic unit, with the Garland Police Department, and we started donating our own money each biweekly as we got paid. We would all bring in $100, throw it in an envelope over on Tony's desk, and then at the end of that, whenever he would come back from MD Anderson or the hospital, we would give it to him, and it was just like, hey, here's a gift to help. And he was very appreciative. Of course, obviously, as police officers, we don't like to ask for help, and it was like it's not an option.
Right.
We're helping you. You're a brother. You're going through this, but you're not going through it alone. So we continued to assist him through that, and through that process, we had some other guys within the unit say, "Hey, why don't y'all start a 501c3, and instead of just doing this for your lieutenant, for this individual, do it for the entire PD, or even just the GPD family as a whole." And we'll look into the process. Well, Ted Wynn, the vice president, he looks into the process and he gets the wheel started. Meanwhile, we continue to reach out and gather other folks that can help us without any cost. And so we made a lot of connections in that case with our Asian community up in North Garland, to some of our retired officers who wanted to donate, who could also offer other things. For example, like flights to and from MD Anderson for, families dealing with that. And so we started building. Well, everything went through and we were legit. We became a 501c3. And then we thought, hey, what are we going to name it? And so, we did pick the longest name ever. So Garland Police Never Walk Alone Foundation. We wanted to go with Never Walk Alone because it's the whole cop thing, got your six and got your back were all taken. But because we were GPD specific, we're like, hey, you know what? Let's start small. That's fine. We'll start with this foundation name. And we started rolling. And things were going good. Our coworker battled through the cancer, got his bone marrow transplant. Things were looking good. They were looking positive. Physically, he was doing well. He was back in the gym, and then he took his own life. And that threw us all for a loop. We didn't see it coming. And the reason is because, one, as police officers, we're very good at hiding these feelings and these things that bother us.
Sure.
We're just trained and we've practiced to put things away in their little box and continue on as if nothing's going on.
Everything's fine,
and
smile.
We can give you 100% of what we have right here. And he did that. And it got us on. We all realized, wow, man, we went this far out and got this far started, and we helped the physical side of him. And we all totally forgot about the mental aspect of dealing with cancer and things not going right and battling the insurance problems that come with that and getting things approved and the doctors writing the right things to get it approved, on top of the transportation to and from such a long distance away. And then the effect that takes on your family. And so we missed it. So we realized that this foundation not only needed to deal with the physical side of the family, but also the mental side. And that's really what kicked us off and getting started. So at that point, anything we had raised prior had gone to that one individual. So we started back at $0 as a foundation, and we started basically asking for help. And we were amazed. Community leaders, business owners were like, we want to help. How can we help? And started slowly, chipping in. Hey, what are you guys about? We don't know. We're still learning. but we know what we want to do, and that's we want to help all the officers that work at Garland Police Department. We want to help everyone that falls under that umbrella of Garland Police Department. That's jailers, that's records, that's dispatchers, all of it.
And you help their immediate family too.
Right.
And their immediate
Correct.
family to
Okay.
consist of their spouse and their children. And so some were like, man, you guys may be overshooting. We've got 350 plus officers here, not including the civilians, the jailers, the dispatchers, and their families. We're like, but we think we can do it. And we start off with big goals, not knowing any better. And we had to trim back so we didn't go bankrupt as a 501c3 before we got started. So a little money management there we learned. And then slowly through that, we met folks who, like yourself, plan it forward, and that grew into, hey, have you guys thought about doing events? How about I host and plan it for you? And honestly, what was that, 2023?
Yeah, I think so, because we just had our 3rd annual
Yeah.
clay shoot, and Tony over here is my co-event planner. So, we just had the 3rd annual.
I do what you say.
Right. Everybody does what she says. That's just the way it works.
But yeah, that's our 3rd, and then obviously the 4th one's coming up already in March.
Yeah, so in 2023, that March is when we decided to do our clay shoot. I think we had maybe 10, 15 grand, something like that. And that was just off of donations and some of the events that we did with other people that donated back to us for basically just our manual labor. And that was the 2023 5-0 clay shoot was our first big event that even though y'all hosted it, felt like it was us.
Yeah.
And it was ours.
Sure.
Because it had our name on it.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just naming it Planet Forward, you were nice enough to say, what do you guys want to call it? 5-0 clay shoot. Okay. And with your contacts and your connections, that was a hit.
Yeah, and I think because
before I know it, we had 30 grand after that one. Was it 30 or 40 grand? 40 grand?
Yeah, first one was 40,
Yeah.
second 40, and then the 3rd one was 55.
It was amazing. Now, so that was one thing we were trying to learn as a board and as a foundation. We were meeting more often then because, again, we were lost children trying to learn how to run this thing, reaching out for advice. So that was our first event, and it gave us a path. Hey, let's start here, do this like Sheena did it. But what we had not had yet was all the resources. And so then we started reaching out to different companies first and some other folks around that offer therapy, that offer sessions or so many sessions that are approved through our insurance. And you can get the same thing through the PD, but cops are strange. They feel like if they go to the PD for help,
They lose their
it's going to
job.
cost them their job.
Right.
And so
why is that? Is that
Well,
a sign of weakness or
No.
just something else?
so a lot of the older, and we're breaking the stigma.
Sure.
The stigma was if you're broken, we don't need you.
Right.
We're breaking that stigma, but you can't take. I've got 31 years. You can't take guys my age and older and convince them that is the way it is now. So we offer them an option outside of the department that they still get the help they need, and we offer it to anyone. It doesn't have anything to do with the department, so they feel like they're still getting the help and no one knows.
Certainly.
But
Certainly.
we're breaking the stigma. The department is working hard to break that because they offer the same services we do through them. But
you have to go through the process
Right.
of the chain of command in order to get that. Typically, the way it works, you get your 3 free or six sessions, and then at that point, if you need to continue that, then you got to start going through the insurance.
Is it confidential at that point, or how
it's always confidential.
It's confidential, but the department knows that you're
Right.
attending because you've got to go through the PD. So they know that you are going to someplace for some kind of assistance or help.
Sure.
Whereas if you're not comfortable with that and you're an old school cop with that still thinks the stigma is I'm broken, I'm dealing with some things, they're going to fire me if they found out that I'm human, then you can come to us and nothing said to anyone. You can be completely anonymous with the exception of our treasurer. And if you want to go, we'll pay up to $2,500 for your sessions.
Sure.
You
That's
know,
wonderful.
If to get you through, and if you need more after that, then we'll assist you going through the PD to get the continued stuff. But at that point, we're kind of forced to push that direction
Sure.
for anything long term.
Sure.
And so through that, we've partnered really well with our PD's behavioral health unit. And our captain over us, and the captain is the same captain that's over that. And so it's made it a really good connection. And so we've been able to grow those resources to include outside resources that come in and be like, hey, I was a nurse for this hospital for this long and whatever, I only do it part-time now. But if your guys ever need anything medical or they just need an opinion of something, call me.
Yeah, and I was going to say a lot of it they've taught me is like the knowledge and the resources if they've been through certain experiences and know the paperwork, the steps, the process, that when other officers come to them, they can walk them through that. Kind of how I explained with my head surgeries and helping people through the process. So they're able to make them feel more comfortable to come to them.
Well, what a wonderful experience. Talk to me a little bit more, though, when you said you were starting out, you decided to do a 501c3, you didn't know what you were doing, and you waded through that. Because one of the experiences I had with Wheels of Hope Car Show, I'd never done a car show before, but we just waded in and started doing it. And talk about kind of the pitfalls and the things you've learned, and then there's got to be total exhilaration when the day after the event you make that deposit, because
it was awesome. Sheena was our shining star. And I know, I know behind Sheena, she's got Planet Forward, Randall Planet Forward and Rad Rides and those stuff. But for us, Sheena was the star because she didn't have to adopt our foundation to help. There's tons of foundations out there that deserve help getting up or continue raising money for their foundation. But we were new, and she's like, "You're local, and yeah, you're mine. I'm adopting you. We're going to do this. Planet Forward. I'm going to talk to them. We're going to host this. We're going to get you guys up and going." And it was great. And man, we fired up, and the money hit the account, and we're like, "All right, well, if somebody comes in and asks for help, we're going to give them 10% of what we have in the bank." Yep. And we realized real quick that's not going to work.
I
can
do that math.
You give 10%, and then you give 10% 2 weeks later, and you give 10% 3 weeks later.
Right.
And so
we realized we had to cap it. Right. All right. It's something reasonable. And that's where we reached right now at the stage we're at. 2,500 within our first years, 2,500 per person was good. And the way we devised that is that if an individual came in and they have a catastrophic event, be it either mental, physical, or let's just say your house caught on fire, and now you're put out of your house and you're dealing with the insurance and so on and so forth, we can assist you with that critical incident one time in a year. Now, let's say you've got the worst luck ever, and the following week, the wife wrecks the car and it puts you out again. Totally different event.
Right.
And so we will visit that event as a separate event. However, once that event has been filed and we've approved, then you can't come back in for at least a year. And we know that medically people deal with cancer and other things for longer than a year. So we're like, okay, that's good because there may be a chance we can help somebody multiple times.
Do you have a board?
We do.
Tell me how you set the board up.
So originally I started off on the board and I was Sheena's go-to. I was her assigned event coordinator for the clay shoot. At that time we had Christian Gibson as the president. Tony was our social media guy. Now this is a guy who has to magnify his letters on his phone to see it. But he is awesome at Facebook Live. And that's really all we have.
That's great.
That's all you got to be. It's pretty.
He was good for the camera. And so we basically pulled a lot from our traffic unit because we were all already kind of doing it. And it made it easy to meet because to meet, you just spun your chair around and be like, hey, I got an idea. And as the year went on, we realized that not only just doing the clay shoot and some other events, we were also supporting other foundations. And through that, we learned, hey, we can grow our foundation by helping other foundations grow as well. And so we kind of partnered with Guns and Hoses of North Texas.
Sure.
And they've been going for years, 20 plus years. And we're like, who better to learn from? And so we were able to pick, their brain and find out kind of the mistakes we didn't need to make.
Right. Sure.
And that grew us exponentially fast. So we learned from that. And then, of course, we would go and offer our manual labor to set up his boxing ring,
Sure.
to, whatnot, help and just
Cook
cook
and-
cook at some of his events. And on top of that, we were learning at the same time. We weren't making anything for the foundation, but we were learning so we could make more at a later date for the foundation.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw this out there real quick. I said it earlier because it's always important, but with the foundation, everything these guys and gals do, it's volunteer, so they don't take a dime. And then obviously they're working their full-time jobs. They're going home and have their home lives. And which I mentioned earlier, the stuff that they've seen on 635 and those traumatic events they see. And then they're running the foundation and have their roles. And then they're cooking and helping other foundations. And it's just to look at everything they're really doing, the scope of it in the community is phenomenal. And I just don't even know how they do it. And it amazes me. And I just think that's a testament of them taking no funds and doing this, service for their, for their brothers and sisters.
People ask me all the time, and I've been around Garland too long, maybe, but I've been involved with so many different charities, and people ask me all the time, what should I get involved with? And I only have one answer. I just say, what do you have a heart for?
Yes.
Because if you have a heart for it, it's not work. It's just it's something you enjoy, and it's something that you can derive some value from being in that effort. But at the same time, you're really giving to somebody or something that needs your help. And so there's so many opportunities for that around the community. There's hundreds probably of worthy things to do. And I have to tell some of my employees, and you probably have to tell some of your officers, don't worry about not volunteering for everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Do what you have a heart for.
Yep.
There'll be somebody else who'll have a heart for that other thing. Let them handle that one. You handle this one, go home and feel good about that. Don't feel guilty that you didn't show up for everything.
Right.
Correct.
And that's a hard concept to get across
Yeah.
to some people when they have a heart for giving.
Yeah, and Josh touched on this too, but I can't remember the statistic if it was like 40% or more. But out of the Garland PD, how many are veterans? So there are a lot of cancers and that were associated with veterans. So they're helping with a lot of that injury and illness that comes too.
So, and a lot of that we're helping with on our end, but then we're also helping. Like I've had 2 out of the unit recently this year that I've helped go through the VA process to get their disability ratings for their VA because they had no clue and nobody's helped them. And it's one of those things where cops, everybody's a suspect until we can prove that they're not. And so it's like they don't trust somebody else to represent them that they don't know that individual. And it's like, okay, but this guy made it through and I made it through and this guy made it through. So let us help you make it through this process. What do you got to lose? Let me help you.
So do y'all have some expertise in that area in terms of, there's a lot of things out there that exist to help people, but demystifying the process to where they feel comfortable enough to even try. We deal with a lot at schools, whether it's a language barrier, a grant, a scholarship, and God forbid, if you try to get a student loan, it's the most complicated thing you've ever done in your life. And people hesitate to go reach out and grab it for their children because it's just so intimidating.
Well, I think,
But there are groups now, like y'all, that help your constituents or your people you serve through that process. It just makes a world of difference.
I think Josh's came more from the experience of going through it and
Yes.
having
So
to
some of us,
work his way through. And
it took me 2 years to get through to get mine.
Wow.
And it was an easy path. And the benefit that the guys get with us is that I was 2 years infantry in the Army and 6 years combat medic. So when I sit down with them behind the computer to fill out their paperwork and they've got to fill out from head to toe everything that they felt or believe that they can tie back to that military service date, I will sit there and write it for them because I know the medical terms.
Wow.
And I will sit there and I'm like, did you ever have a headache? Well, that is this. Did you ever have pressure behind your eyes? What about any mortars or explosions? That's where that's from. And so I can go through and I can help them walk through where a lot of it, they're like, yeah, but I was fine. It's like, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
It just, it wasn't bad enough to you at the time that you went and seeked help. You just took over-the-counter medications and you pushed through like they told you, hey, suck it up and move on. And you did that and you did it too well.
You know, that really strikes home with me. I have a son-in-law who did, I think, 4 tours in Iraq. And, you know, he was the guy on top of the Humvee with the 50 cal, and they got blown up a couple of times. But it was probably, I don't know, 10, 12 years later before he ever even thought, hey, for some of these issues I've got, you know, with my back and other things, there could be some VA assistance. And he finally, and it might have taken him a year or two as well, because he didn't have anybody to guide him through it. So what y'all do there is, I know, so very valuable, because as a family, we watched it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to help. I was helpless.
Well, and the process then was very difficult.
Yes.
It's very, and when you get denied so many times, you end up doing what I did. I walked away from it in 2005 and did not revisit it until 2021. And I was like, you know what? They owe it to me.
Well,
you know?
What other things do y'all provide? What other ways do you have?
Go ahead.
We have attorneys that have volunteered their time.
Great.
We've had some situations with some of our people where they needed immediate wills, powers of attorney, things like that. And the attorneys did it pro bono for nothing. Give them a call, give them all the information, and they meet with these people and take care of them on that as well, especially when it comes to like medical power of attorney and things like that.
You know, there's so many great resources within the city, but there's also so many people that know so many other people that can get things done. One of the things you'll find out about Sheena and I'm going to volunteer for this. She doesn't need to be, but pretty much when you get our name and our phone number, that's like a lifetime warranty. You know, anything we can ever do to help people like y'all that are helping others, we're in, and do as much as we can to assist. And that's why I was asking, you know, other things that you do, other things that come up within your ranks, if you will, that y'all feel a need to help for. If you don't have the experience or the technical or whatever, it's like she and I don't know anything, or I didn't know anything about a podcast. I got a real good friend in the other room who runs this room, you know, and as soon as I mentioned him the idea, here we are in one of the coolest podcast rooms you're ever going to find with the technology and everything that exists. So don't be afraid to reach out is what I would tell you.
Well, and we've found that outside of monetary, the mental health, the attorneys, I mean, literally, if we can call a group of volunteers, if we've got to help somebody move, or we've got to help somebody clean up something, or we have people we can call that will come and help us do that. And believe me, we as the board have done a lot of stuff I never expected to do.
Fix generators, helped move furniture, and it costed us nothing but time.
Right.
So you sound like a combination of just about every charity I've ever worked with. This is off the subject, but we started a thing at the First Baptist Church called Baptist Men Worker Bees, because we had a lot of widows and they couldn't change light bulbs and things like that. This is years ago. So me and a group of guys, once a month, we would show up at a house and do stuff. And before you know it, we were almost into remodeling projects, you know, and it got we way outpunted our coverage on some of the requests we were getting, but we tried, you know, we tried to tackle it. But those kind of things are so, I mean, to see the appreciation in the eyes of those who receive it is the reward.
Yes.
And like again, I don't want to volunteer Sheena for anything else, because she's got more than enough to do. But anytime you come up with an idea, she makes it an event. You've noticed that, right? You have an idea about a fundraiser, and she can make it an event.
That's why we have lunch every month or so.
Oh,
You know,
they have to hide from me because I call them,
know,
and
the
I'm
thing
like,
is,
we're meeting.
there's
We're
a
meeting
lot
for
of
lunch.
folks that make events, but she makes them successful. I've yet to seen one fail.
Sure.
They have all been excellent.
Well, she's got a great track record. Y'all have, the police department in itself has been so supportive of so many things I've ever been involved with. And y'all know about the car show, the Wheels of Hope, that I put on in October. This will be our 10th annual. We've had your police car, your old-timey 51 police car. We've had all kinds of support from y'all. So we've had great appreciation for what you do, provide security and other things that the city helps us do within this event. But what is fun and what I've heard from y'all is y'all kind of started this from the beginning. So you're sitting here, what are you, in your 4th year?
Going on our fifth.
So
You're going on your 5th year. If you turned around, it's like driving in the mountains. When you get to the top, you never know how high you got until you turn around and look back.
Yeah.
And then once you do, you realize, this is all my fault. This is all.
Why are we here?
So y'all are in a position truly where you've started something that's truly great. And I hope you don't forget every once in a while to stop and maybe pat each other on the back and say, let's keep going. This is a really good thing.
That is the most difficult thing to do, is to get all of these guys on the board, which there's not many of us, together to make time for ourselves. I think we tried to plan a dinner and had to reschedule it multiple times because we're all so busy.
Yes.
Because where half of us may be free, the other half of us are cooking in Roanoke, Texas for Dave Swaby's Guns and Hoses to raise money. And where that half may be free, the others are running, setting up the ring or whatever. But I will say a lot of it we do on our own time, and there are some things that we get to do for our PD because our chief allows it.
Right.
We get to do some cookouts for our PD and the staff because the chief allows it. Some appreciation dinners because he allows it, and there's some of those which he funds.
Sure.
And we just become the cooks.
That's great.
And honestly, like you said, if you love it, it's really not a job. When you deal with the worst of car wrecks or the worst of calls and all that stuff, and then you get to cook for your buddies, it's a therapy in itself.
Yes.
Or you get to help them in some way, even if it's not financially. It's a therapy in itself.
So define what you mean when you say we get to cook. What are you cooking? How are you cooking?
Oh, go ahead, Tony. Tony is our
Tell me about
the
this. Tell me
master
about
of
this cooking thing.
We get to cook, do we?
Yeah.
So we started doing cooks and started borrowing smokers, and it turned into from 50 people to 300
people.
Barbecue,
breakfast. We can do it all.
Wow.
And it got big.
and you're using the trailer now too, right?
We
Swaby's
have
trailer.
to. Yeah, we have to use the trailer.
He got a big food trailer donated, so it's like the whole
Oh, really?
setup.
It's a
Yes.
32 foot.
I think so.
It's a
yeah.
32 foot.
How big
food
is the
trailer.
smoker?
It depends on which one we're using.
You got several.
So he's got two
One double
two
barrel,
trailers, one
and
double barrel and a
single.
single, and then he's got, I think, 6 or 8 Z grills, which are
Right.
the pellet smokers.
So how many briskets can you do at one time?
I did 18 for
Pork
a bass
butts?
tournament.
No, we did 20 pork butts for the horse.
Right, but I did
rodeo.
18 briskets for the bass tournament.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so,
And then they
he
cook
left-
for the rodeo
and then we
too.
cooked
Yep.
for the rodeo, which was 500, I think, is what we cooked for. So that was 20 pork butts. I think we cooked in there. And then for Roanoke, we did, I think it was 4 briskets, 4 pork butts, plus the chicken, plus the beans.
So tell me about Roanoke. When you say you did Roanoke, what is that?
So Roanoke, so each year they have like a little downtown cook-off thing.
Okay.
It'd be amazing if Garland did that. But I'm just saying, it's really cool.
Is that an idea you're putting in my brain right now?
I'm telling you,
I think we're pointing both ways.
It's hard to win a competition
Sure.
in Roanoke when you're cooking against Roanoke police officers and firefighters.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They got hometown advantage. But basically what happens, but it's and you could do it for the gym if you wanted. It would be a great thing for the gym. But basically what happens is $20 a person. And we come in, we set up multiple teams. You can have 2, 3, 4-man teams, whatever you want. And Guns and Hoses provides all the meat. And you cook X amount of whatever it is they decide that year. Last year it was 4, and then I think it was a couple pounds of chicken and beans.
Right.
And so you'll cook overnight and smoke all your stuff with your own recipes. And then that morning, as people come to the downtown area, you're kind of cordoned off, and they may have some live music or something going. There may be a beer tent or something selling beer or whatever, and you would buy in. And for $20, you get to go around and sample each team's items. And so you'll get basically 4 chips, a blue, a red, a yellow, and a green. And each one is blue is for brisket, yellow is for chicken. And so once you sample them, then you go back and you drop your chip in whatever team had the best, and they'll have the 4 boxes set up. And then at the end of the day, they do awards, plaques for who had the best thing and who was best overall. It's hard to beat a team overall when they're in their hometown.
But it's pretty much a fundraiser for
Guns N' Hoses North Texas.
Guns N' Hoses North Texas.
And like I said, it's a therapy. We sit around all night.
Sure.
We're not talking about work. We're talking about cooking and our new recipes and what we're going to try the next year and who we're thinking about at the time.
Yeah, and those are some of the best times we had.
Oh, yeah.
And
is
it's something to
sitting
look
around
forward
overnight.
to, too.
Yeah.
I say that with all of our events. It's
Yeah.
like you've got a plan and we meet and all the ideas are flowing. And it's like one of the things I look forward to all the time is when we meet to plan and
We
the
need to
event.
come for an overnight cook. We just sit around in chairs and throw stuff on the smoker and cook all night.
And normally Tony will throw something on that'll cook fairly quick, or he'll start it early, so we'll eat very well.
Right.
Well, and that actually started out with the pig hunts.
Yeah.
While you're
Yeah.
waiting.
Sure.
Yeah.
You get a little rub, get you some pork, saw it off in like French fry size, wrap it in bacon, put the rub on it, put it on the smoker. Makes a great appetizer as you're cooking.
Well, we used to do pig hunts, and the first 2 we would kill, we'd snip the ribs out, and I'd go put the ribs on.
He'd go season them all up, throw them on the grill, and then we'd hunt, the rest of the night. And the next day we'd have,
You'd have ribs.
Yeah.
Breakfast ready to go. My first brisket I ever cooked, my family bought me a smoker. Speaking of smoking meats. And the first brisket I ever did, I didn't have a clue what to do. And I went and bought like 7 books at the bookstore. And I read through until I found the recipe I wanted. It was a real complicated rub, and I put it on there. And no kidding, that brisket was the greatest brisket in the history of North America. And I haven't even gotten close to ever doing it like that again. I don't know what happened. No, I say that, but everybody is pretty good at smoking briskets these days. Well, good. Anything else you wanted to cover?
Yeah, I was going to have y'all talk about the mental health room a little bit because it's unique to Garland.
So, so we have basically a mental health room, and it was tossed up, and we took it through our chain of command, and they provided a space. And what we wanted to do with that room is that with one of our gentlemen with our police association. And he has a history in like sports medicine.
Right.
And so all the, modality things and stuff, he was very aware of. And he knew the side of, if you're dealing with stress, this is the area of your body you should work on or get massaged or whatever it is that needs to take place in that part of your body to release that stress. Because he's used to doing it in athletic, sports players. And so we brainstormed with him and pushed it up the chain and got it approved. And they gave us a space within the PD. And then our foundation was given the opportunity to go in and actually do the construction in that room.
Right.
And so we went in hands and knees and laid the floor and cut the baseboards. And our police association came in and painted the walls, and we hung the lights, and we put, music in the room that's very relaxing. And then we basically came together with a few other sponsors to get a couple of massage chairs, a couple recliners with some pneumatic pants, Normatec pants.
Normatec,
I think now we actually had the back massagers, the arm sleeves.
Light therapies.
And, light therapies. We've got
heat therapy.
2 of those through Light Up to Live.
Yep.
And then we, as a matter of fact, we've got 3 of those. 2 of them, which we recently got this last year at our couples retreat that they gave that they presented that to us.
We
had an event.
One I thought was at the PD, but basically for Light Up to Live, so that's Randall Reed. They have their foundation,
Right.
And the polychromatic light therapy systems, they increase blood flow and decrease pain. So then they can use those for recovery. So they donated 2 systems to the PD.
So those 2 systems that they donated now are basically like
A library checkout.
Yeah, a checkout.
Yeah.
So you can check out the actual light system and take it home with you and use it in the comfort of your own home for 2 weeks And then you've got to basically just check it back in. And if you need it more, you can check it back out because we've got 2 systems. But that's made it great. And more people have been prone to use it because they can take it home in the comfort of their home, in, comfort of shorts or whatever, sitting on the recliner with the light
Yeah.
therapy sitting there. And they don't feel like they're being judged.
Yeah.
Well, and with the war room, wellness and recovery room, it's not monitored, so you can use it at the beginning of shift, at your lunch, after shift, after a stressful situation. Lieutenant may say, "Hey, do you need to take some time? If you want, go to the war room," and it's very dimly lit with blue lighting, and use it as long as you need to. And we see some people are on a schedule with it, like, this person's in here from this time to this time, or this person, or if you just get stressed, you can go down to that room, and it's a nice dark.
Just take a minute.
Yep.
You step in the room, and it feels like you stepped out of the PD and you're in a room, a bedroom somewhere
Right.
else. It does not feel like it's in the PD.
Oh, that's great.
So you get to close that door, and you just mentally physically put yourself somewhere else.
See, I'll just kind of add something almost every year. It sounds like you're just kind of growing.
We try.
developing.
We try, yeah.
We try because we know there's so many different ways to reach people, and each person's different.
Sure. Do you have any goals for this year? Any things you're trying to accomplish?
My goal is just to keep the foundation running.
Keep it running, yeah.
Yeah.
Take over Texas.
Honestly, my goal is that this year we've got a couple positions that are coming available.
Sure.
My hope is that we have some younger folks within
Yes.
the PD that want to step up
Sure.
and then take and twist it a different way that our old minds haven't thought of, and take it somewhere new that also helps continue to benefit people. And so that's our hope, but it's hard to get this young generation involved. Their time's important. And so, trying to pull them away and let them see the importance behind it all. It's hard because I can't come to you and recruit you and tell you, look, man, this year we've helped this person do this and this person that, because
It's anonymous.
Sure.
that's between them and either us or them and our secretary,
Right.
our treasurer. And so I can't give you any example unless that individual that we help wants to come out and speak
Sure.
on their own. But what I can tell you is from the first year where we helped, I think it was 5 to 6 individuals, as to this year, we've already financially helped over $20,000.
Wow.
So with taking down that stigma that Tony talked about, more people are feeling comfortable, and they trust us to come to us to ask for help, knowing they're going to get it, and it stops at us, unless they wish for us to push it further and reach out to the PD and ask for help.
And that's what's nice at the clay shoot. Basically, we have our intro, and then we had about 40 teams of 4 that go out and shoot the event, come back. Texas Day Brazil sponsors the whole thing. Amazing. But, we talk about the foundation, and we always, we hear from some of the guys, but it's like, can we have someone come forward? And like they said, it's all, anonymous. But what's amazing is there are some individuals that have come forward to share their stories, and the impact that just popped in my brain from last time, the impact that the businesses see. They literally said of the 2 speakers we had, the last 2 events, that they've never seen grown men be so vulnerable, and they were so impressed to be able to share their story, and that they wanted to support this nonprofit in the community and the first responders. So it's because of those individuals sharing, it allows them to see where those funds are going.
So what would you say would be the level of general awareness just in the community at large that your foundation even exists?
Well, we've tried to get it out as much as we can. We'd like to get it out even more, because I think our end goal is, when it comes financially, we'd like to be able to say, we're not going to give you 2,500. We're not going to give you 5. We're not going to set a limit. We're going to take what you have to pay, and we're going to cover that. That's where we'd like to be.
Sure.
Because we all know how stressful all that is. We'd like to be able to take it all and say, you're covered. That stress is outside of your medical need.
Sure.
But we'd like to stand on a mountain and scream what we're about, to let everybody know, because I think when we knew we were doing the right thing was when retirees were donating.
Oh, that's great.
You know, because we're not in that, we're not big enough to cover retirees. We
Right.
cover active employees.
Uh,
But I think we knew we were going the right direction when it was the retirees that were coming in and giving us money and saying, "This is great. You guys are doing awesome. This money goes to the bank for you guys to help younger."
Well, you
the younger
guys are doing
generation.
awesome. I mean, that's until Sheena told me about your group. I've lived in Garland my whole life. I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I
That's
just
it.
didn't.
Sheena's got us on LinkedIn. We've got Facebook. We've got Instagram.
Great.
We've got a website. But the thing is how do you get everybody to visit that? You know, how do you, I mean,
Right.
we can't afford to put a commercial out.
Well, here's one of the ways. One of the ways is Sheena and I are going to come up with an idea to have a podcast so we can get out to our communities
That's
better.
an amazing
So
idea.
here is a great chance for you to tell everybody what your website is or your Facebook page and how to get in touch and view any of the social media you have.
So, so our website is garlandpoliceneverwalkalone.org. I know that's forever long, but put it in. We typically always keep it up to date. If you go there, it'll have an events calendar. It'll tell you when our next events are, what's coming up. If we're helping with somebody else's event, we do Ashling's equine therapy. We assist her with her rodeo, not ours. We make no money, but we cook for it because we grow together.
Right.
She also has some of our officers go out and work with her horses. So it helps us. And it helps those family members that go out and work with these horses. They learn something from that. And then, you know, of course, Dave Swavey with the Guns and Hoses of North Texas. We assist him in obviously multiple. And then at the same time, when we're the front leader, he's back in the background cooking for us. And so we just help each other grow. But Garland Police, neverwalkalone.org. Our next event is our casino event, August 23rd. That event is going to be at the Shriners Event Center there in Garland, off of Rowlett Road and Roan. So you can purchase a table. I think they've got $1,000 table, $1,500 table. You could be a title sponsor if you wish to donate more than that. And if you just want to, you and the spouse want to come out for a night or whatever, you can pay at the door $100 and get in and just come in and enjoy the casino setup and donate into the raffles. And that still benefits us.
That's wonderful. You know, one of the ideas I've had, I've never been able to pull it off, but I'm going to figure it out, is when you have organizations like the Wheels of Hope, like any of the organizations you're with or any organizations you're with, I don't know why we don't link up more of our, I mean, to me, the bigger the house, the better, right? There's no competition here.
Right.
It's so why don't we link up and make sure we're sharing with our world what you're doing, you share with your world what we're doing, and then it's hopefully becomes more widely known. And that's one of the things we want to accomplish with this podcast, is just making sure we're getting good and great and positive things out to the community that deserves to know you're there.
Right.
And to have it, you know, we'll get a Facebook, but right now it's the YouTube channel. So then people can log on. And it's like, here's all the nonprofits. Here's all the businesses, what Garland ISD kids are doing, unique things in the community. Like Swavey and Alex, Esmeralda, and David are coming on next to talk about Golden Gloves. But
awesome.
to have that all in one place, just like the gym, you know, I work at the dealership for almost 10 years and I didn't even know the gym existed. And we're out in the community. So that's the goal, is to have that. And then just like I put y'all on your media tour
Well, so one of the
to
things
have-
we can do is you have an event coming up, maybe the couple of weeks or a month prior to that, you send us your flyer. We'll put it at the end of our podcast.
Oh, we've got it.
Yeah,
We'll
and
get
then,
it to you.
and then
absolutely.
we can run an event, and we're going to do that with the school calendar. We're getting in touch with the cities of Rowlett and Sachse and Garland.
Oh, good.
If they have event calendars, we can run all this at the end. If people want to study it, they can hit pause and read all the events that are going on. But that's one of the thoughts we have. We're new at this too, so we're just developing it. We still got to get all of that together. But we want to make sure we're offering that kind of exposure to people like yourself and groups like yours, so that people know about it. And
Yeah,
if they want to help, they can.
If you're not able to make our casino night, or you're not able to make the clay shoot in 2026, but maybe you can make your car show,
Right.
you know, or maybe you can make
The
the
rodeo.
boxing event or the rodeo, you know, whatever pulls at your heartstrings,
That's
Right.
you know,
exactly
and if
right.
it's not ours, that's okay. You know,
Totally
but if I
fine.
can tell you about something else and it does, fantastic.
So I want to work on that. How we, we all have pyramids of influence underneath our organizations. And to me, the bigger, the better. So that's what I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to.
And the
link
other thing
up.
too we're doing with this is the show gets sponsored. We're volunteering our time, and then nonprofits and small businesses can take these segments and put them on their social media, or like how you guys have developed the website, or when you let someone know, it's like, hey, go to YouTube and watch this and learn about us. Do you want to get involved? So it's a way for people to visually see and hear and want to become more involved by actually seeing it versus reading it.
I wanted to say something real quick.
Amen.
Just go to Google and put Garland Never Walk, and
It'll
it'll
come
take you to our
Okay.
website. Go to Facebook, put Garland Never Walk Alone, and it will take you to our Facebook. Join us there. Join us on the website, but don't try to remember the whole thing. Just Garland Never Walk Alone will take you to everywhere you need to be.
Great. That's great to know.
Yeah.
And so we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, and at the end of this, we'll put the website link and all the events. So obviously the casino night's coming up, and then we'll be working on the 4th annual 5-0 Clay Shoot, March 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Texas Gun Ranch. So it's 2,000.
I got to make that this year.
Yes, it's so much fun.
to
One of
bring it-
y'all will have to teach me how to shoot better, though. I've gotten
you
the
just
worst the
point-
older I've
point-
You're
gotten.
asking the wrong people. We work for Sheena during that
Yeah.
time. We're too busy.
Okay.
She just lets me stand
but
next to her and talk every once in a while.
I'm sure Sheena can put you with somebody that knows how to do
Okay.
it.
Somebody. I would love to do that.
Yeah. We're typically the worker bees.
Yeah.
Bring a team. Bring a team. And
They know this. It takes all of us. I mean, truly, the community, the businesses, these guys. I mean, all of us come together, make it all happen, and it's a phenomenal thing. So, but any last words? We appreciate y'all being on today.
No, like I said, if you're not familiar with us, go online, look us up on Facebook, check us out, and come to one of the events.
definitely.
Like I
And
said, casino's the next one. The following that will be the clay shoot. This year we may do another surf and turf at Central Park. We make absolutely $0 out of that, but it's a community event. It's for a
Yeah.
good cause.
Right.
yeah, we had that one right before Easter.
Yeah.
And we'll probably
Sure.
do the same thing.
Okay.
And bring the kids out.
Yeah.
Eat some good food and find some Easter eggs.
Shoot us a calendar of events, and we'll be glad to run it at
Okay.
the end of all
Yeah.
of our segments, and
great.
that keeps the community aware.
I can
of
do
what
better
you're
and give
doing.
you a website. It's got it all on there.
You can do that.
Garland Never Walk Alone. Google it.
We'll do
Yes.
that. She'll do that. I don't know how
Yeah,
to do it.
yeah.
She'll do it.
Perfect. Well, thank y'all for coming on today.
Thank
we
you for
appreciate
having
y'all.
us.
Yeah.
Thank you,
super.
guys.
Thank you so much.